Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you two doing?
Good. Nice to see you.
You? Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know you guys are super busy, especially this month.
Thanks
Of
for your time.
course. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Let's start off with this one. If you can think back to before you joined Merchant Mastery, what were some of the struggles that you're having with your shop?
I guess growing our sales and growing our customer list was one of the main struggles that we had before joining the Merchant Mastery team. Like we did a bunch of stuff like studies and stuff like that for influence marketing and things like that. That helped us a lot, but I guess we always felt like something is missing and we didn't know what that is. So yeah, basically getting more customers, repeat customers as well, and also growing.
Not repeat customers.
Not repeat customers. Pedram knows better than me. Not repeat customers, but like growing our sales and getting more customers and growing our customer list plus the orders.
Gotcha. And so I know you're in Merchant Mastery Accelerator now, obviously as well, but thinking about just kind of like the early moments in Merchant Mastery Elite, what do you think for you was, if like any of the modules were sort of like you kind of had an aha moment about your business or your customers?
You can correct me, but I think like the email module was something that I was like, oh, like these are the stuff that we need to do that we didn't do. And that is probably why like we were not able to, because people just do a lot of like add to carts and stuff like that, but they leave. So like we didn't have any system to basically, no, not really. No, it wasn't like, so we did have it, but it wasn't as complete. So it wasn't as
you did have email, you were using email to
we were using emails and I think we had an abandoned email of some sort, but it wasn't as complete and as it wasn't in a proper sequence. I would say it wasn't properly set up, so it was just like I don't know how to explain it. Let's say like when you hear about something really cool and we turn it on, like there wasn't a lot of thinking when we did that. We were just like, okay, let's just turn this on. And we didn't have a very fixed schedule for like sending emails and stuff like that. We are way, way better now. So that was one. There were some things that helped us for our website for sure. Like I used to be a web designer, so that part was like the easy module for me, but I still found some interesting stuff that we never thought about it. And then the biggest one out after email was like the Facebook ads, like the ads module. Yeah, that was one of our biggest, hugest, the scariest parts for our business. Like we were always like so scared to turn on ads because we had no idea what is the proper way. We didn't want to lose money and all that stuff. So yeah.
What do you think, what do you see differently now?
What do you mean? Can you?
Yeah. Like thinking about, for example, you were saying you were kind of doing email before and you kind of like checked that box, it sounds like. But with Merchant Mastery, you learned to do it in a more structured way. Is that correct? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
And what, so now when you look back, or now when you think about your email campaigns or your Facebook ads, so same thing with your Facebook ads, is there anything that you're like, I can't believe I didn't see that before, or wow, I wish I'd known that earlier?
Well, I think it was,
Facebook ads.
yeah, I think the Facebook ads, the moment when we started and we got like a couple of sales. And then I guess like when you create certain audiences and stuff like that, or you need to have like certain amount of data for Facebook to be able to successfully show your ads to the right people. And we didn't, I think it was like close to Black Friday when we joined Merchant Mastery, and we were like, oh gosh, like I wish like we knew how to run ads before so that we had more data. So which is not a problem anymore, because now we've been like running ads for so long that we have enough data to look back. So I guess that is one thing that, yeah, that would be one of the main things.
And how has your business grown in the last year since joining Merchant Mastery?
It's a very hard question.
It's a very hard
It's a
question.
very hard question. Okay, that's fine.
Because,
What,
Yeah.
how would you answer it?
because like we've been through like pandemic and then second wave and third wave, and like then like lifting lockdowns, and like people are kind of going back to like normal. It's just a little bit like different. Like each year, like even this year is like
Way different, yeah.
completely different than last year. So definitely we're growing. Definitely sales are higher. We can see a spike in our
Mhm.
sales, but it's really hard to like say, oh, we kind of, because like each year, each like quarter was different. And like we never had like a same year, like say, okay, last year we had like this, let's just do it this year. So like since like 2019, each year was like a little bit different for us. Like we had to like, adapt, adjust, and like do ourselves. So,
Yeah. So there's a lot of like outside, a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, and everything that came with that got thrown at you. Do you think about your business the same way? Like, do you feel like you're in the same headspace as you were like before all that? Like, just thinking about your confidence level in your business. I'm just curious if anything
I'm
is
not. I'm
different.
definitely not. I 100% not in the same headspace. I was very, like, I literally decided to be jobless, which is like the scariest decision of my life. Like I didn't really, when we started the business originally, like Pedram is always like the, I don't know, like I'm always cautious and he's always the person who takes risks. So I was always like, oh my gosh, is this gonna work? Like no one is buying, or like why is this taking so long and all that stuff. So for me now, or like after like doing all the modules and Merchant Mastery and then Merchant Mastery Accelerator, I'm way more confident. And I think like I have a better understanding of our business needs and where it needs to go and how much time it requires to get there. Whereas before, first of all, I didn't have the knowledge to make the right decision or assumption even. Therefore, I didn't really, I really didn't think of it as a real thing for myself, at least, like a real business. It was like a hobby, like a side kind of a thing. And my day job was my main hustle,
Mm-hmm.
And then it slowly and gradually, as we progress through the modules and the calls and everything, we obviously saw growth, and we saw that, oh no, we can really make this become our main job. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So that is for me, I'm not definitely in the same headspace. I now think way more differently.
Yeah, that's so interesting. What about you, Pedram? I'm just so curious because given that sort of description of like, okay, Pedram takes more risks, he's more like in it. I'm curious like how you see it.
I see it the way that I saw it like 4 years ago, but
Uh-huh.
right, I have more experience, more knowledge. So, yeah,
Yeah.
not sure if
And
that,
what do you think that, like, can you give me some specifics of like some of the knowledge that you have now that you didn't have before?
like email marketing, social media, Facebook marketing, like things that merchant mastery and merchant mastery accelerator like taught us, like these are the like I usually, because there is like so many different things that like so many different like topics that we have, like we're they're teaching us. I started with like emails, and now like then moved to like Facebook ads, and then moved to websites. Just like I try to like, kind of collect knowledge from like collect stuff from like each modules, and that's why it's like I have like more experience and more knowledge right now.
Can you, I'm curious, like if you think about, and I love so much like that both of you have such different perspectives on this. So like to me, I'm like, oh goody, this is so much fun.
It is fun.
But it is, it's so perfect. I hope you both see that, but I think it's so perfect. Given kind of where you were and how you were thinking about the business, and like, and I know like some of the stuff you've gone through, like, you know, Armita, like moving into this full time as opposed to having a job. If you think about other merchants who are sort of in that same space, like for both of you, what advice would you give somebody who's kind of like just come into Merchant Mastery Elite and they're kind of looking, they're just kind of like, okay, what is all this level 1 through 4? What does that even mean? And then there's all these calls. What do I do? Like, what advice would, and I want to hear from both of you because I have a feeling it'll be a little bit different. What would you say, Armita?
I would say it takes time. You will make mistakes, and you should make mistakes, otherwise you cannot move to the next step. So you'll make mistakes, your website might look ugly, your ads might not work, and all that stuff, but it takes time, and it takes, I think, dedication, hard work, you know, all that stuff, not giving up, and just keep trying to get to where you want, and it's possible. It's just that if you be patient, and if you try to enjoy, like, I know it sounds cliche, but honestly, if you try to enjoy the process of making all those mistakes, going crazy, crying sometimes, I don't know, freaking out and all that stuff, and you know, learning from it, then you become the better person and stronger person, not mentally, but also for your business, because you have all that experience. So you're not going to make those mistakes again, and now you have all this knowledge, so you will definitely be in a better spot than you were before. And also, one great thing is that you're not alone. You have like all these amazing coaches and also a great community. Like, I've also learned a lot from other merchants. So yeah, it might look hard, it might looks like you have to do a lot of work, but it pays off.
I love it. How about you, Pedram? How would you answer that?
Follow the instructions, listen to coaches, and be patient.
So I love that patience seems to be the key, like be patient. That's fantastic. You two have, okay, so with your business, like it's just you two running the business, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have like
We recently hired a part-time graphic designer and part-time
web developer, but it's mainly us doing everything from packing, photo shoots, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is significant, right? It's a significant amount of
Yeah.
work. What I always want to add, like, I don't want to repeat the same question, but I'm going to repeat the same question. It's kind of like, what advice do you have? Because we have so many merchants that are in so many different places, right? Some people come in, they have a full team. Some people come in and it is that situation that you had where it's like, okay, we're in this, but one of us has a full-time job. The other one's working on this full-time. And you kind of went between the two of like having, let's say, 1.5 people, or maybe 1.25. And I'm not sure how much of your time is dedicated to your job when you were working there. And then now you have two full-time people on this. What, how did you balance, or how do you balance that, both learning about the business, implementing, and working on the business?
I don't know, actually.
For
Never
me,
thought about it.
being not hard on myself and do one task at a time, is the thing. So yeah, that's for me. So if I can do it, like if there's like we have like so many tasks that we're behind. If I
Yeah.
can like finish one this week, I'm happy to. So for me, it's just like I know my limits. I know my my obstacles. I know what I can do and what I can't. So based on that, I just like go task by task, like one at a time, and just like that's how I do it.
And I
Got it.
still can't really give you an answer, because I think that is the part that I sometimes struggle with. And I sometimes have a little freak out when things are not, the way I want them to be, but I'm still learning. So that part, I think I'm still trying to find a system for myself where, as Pedram said, I'll just go through them and don't panic about like, oh my gosh, like there's so much left. Like there is also tomorrow. Like, what can I do today? So that is the part that I'm still working on. That's why I'm like, I couldn't really answer, because I haven't mastered that balancing part, to be honest, yet. So work in progress.
Yeah, but it's that work in progress and that mindset of like, okay, I'm going to try this, see if that works, get the data from that, try something different, that willingness to try, and I'm going to put fail in air quotes because I just genuinely don't believe in failure.
Being a part of like merchant mastery, the good thing about like merchant mastery is like you don't have to like do everything by yourself. Like you don't have to like try and like see if it works or not. So instructors give you the instruction and tell you what to do, which is a good thing. So for some, like for businesses like us, that it's just like two of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes like saving time, saving money this way is just like,
Or also even like sometimes it sounds really funny, but sometimes we don't even have time to be creative, if that makes sense. Like if we need an email, or like something for an ad. So that is where the coaches and the whole community comes to play.
we need like sometimes we need someone to like see our business from outside.
Yeah.
And thinking along those lines, what have been your biggest or actually let me phrase it this way. What are you most proud of having like achieved or realized in working with Merchant Mastery?
I mean, for me, I know that there were times where like we had a really good Q1. I keep talking about it. And then Q2 was really bad. But it's just the nature of our business, because it's like people go out, people start traveling and everything. Our business is generally very slow. But I think for me, sorry, I lost your question. Like I can't remember what it was.
I forgot your question.
I remember the answer, but not the question.
Yeah, just like what are you most proud of?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess I would say, because I like a lot of changes happened for me personally. So like not having that financial support for the business, and then seeing like a really low like everything metrics. And I was literally some days I was panicking and everything. I'm honestly really proud that I did not give up, because there were days where I was like, this is not gonna work. Like, what are we doing? And then we just kept trying and trying and trying. And then, now we see a spike in our like orders again and everything, because we just found some, winning stuff for our business, like ads, and also like we made some changes to the website. So it's just a matter of, again, like, I guess when we say patience and like trying and allowing yourself to fail, because that's most of the time, it's really painful. It's very, very painful and uncomfortable. But I think once you move that past that phase, then I don't know. I think like it's something opens up, and at least for me, something opened up in my brain. Like I'm like, there's like another way to do this whole thing. Like I literally killed myself like for 2 months, and I could have done this and that and that. Because guess what? Now I'm here. So I could have been here like even like maybe, I don't want to say faster because I keep saying that, but like, you never know. Maybe I could have found something like sooner, or maybe I could have like been less hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is, for me, that is one thing.
What
that
about you, Pedram?
Like
Yeah.
proud, like in general, or it's just like kind of like kind of
In general, I
In
guess it
general,
was.
okay.
Yeah,
building something like this with like empty hands. That's
that's true. I don't know why I never thought about that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah. What do you think? What does it mean to you to just out of curiosity, right? Because we start businesses and there's the sort of like, I want to say superficial, that's not exactly the right word, but there's like the kind of like the obvious, let me put it that way. There's kind of like the obvious reasons that we start a business, but I'm just curious, like, what does it mean to you personally to be growing this business?
Mm, for me, it means I'm successful. I'm capable. I don't know, it's a very hard question to answer. I don't know if it like makes sense, but I also feel like I'm a badass. Because I feel like a lot of time, a lot of people were like, oh, you're doing this, like, oh, okay, good luck, or like, oh, it's been like 2 years and you're still like doing blah, blah, blah. So, you kind of get that negative vibe and all that stuff. But then like we never listened, and we kept like doing what we thought was right. And guess what? The business is growing, and that's all that matters. Like when we go back and look at numbers, even like I said, we had some slow months, we're still way ahead of like last year. So that when I say like you're a badass, because just like no matter what obstacles, like financially, mentally, support wise, whatever, like we just kept going. And I think that's huge.
It is. It's massive. Most people wouldn't. Did you have anything, Pedram?
not really. It's like, means a lot. Just
Yeah,
I-
badass as well.
not badass, but just like means like here's the thing, like it's just like kind of like it's not the answer, but just here's the thing, like we like sometimes we have a conversation like what if this doesn't work, and what if we have to like do something, what should we do next? And the thing is, we learn so many different things in this business that we can open something else with, like without like this much
All
of
the
like
struggles that we
struggles and
went through.
hustles. So so it means like growing getting powerful, getting like wiser. Yeah, so that just, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's huge. What can we talk a little bit about like some of the numbers that you have? What have you what are like, are there like sales wise, what's going on with sales and email growth and conversion rates and things like that?
Well, conversion rate is something that we're kind of like keep working on it, and since like pandemic, it was just like kind of going back up and down. But for sales, like what if I want to compare it to like last year, we're pretty much like 50% up so far.
That's huge.
It is.
Yeah. Are you proud of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Anything else?
I think it was really cool for us to see that we could have like Black Fridays are always like the best times of the year for us, sales wise, number wise, and everything. And I think it was really cool for us to see. It was the first year that our March, I think, was better than our Black Friday, and we're hoping that we can repeat that. So yeah, so I mean, there's definitely some really good things happening. We had some issues with some products, we weren't able to restock them. So all those things could have had an impact on the slower months, but overall in general, we're seeing a growth every month. Like as Pedram said, like it's around like 30% to 50% every month. And overall, so far this year is like 50% compared to last year. So we're hoping as we get closer to Black Friday, the number goes way higher than this.
You do realize that 50% is not small.
It's not, no,
It's
it's not, but like what we like this, what we had like changed this year was like experience of what we had like last year. Summer was like pretty dead, like we couldn't like it was just really bad. So we decided to just like go to like different shows and have a booth and promote our brand that way. So like since like April
Yes, since April, we've
or
been
May,
doing that.
we kind of like we
May.
have like we go to like 1 or 2 shows every month, which is like kind of like a huge help for ourselves.
Yeah,
And we like so far we got a really good like results for online sales too. So
yeah. So when you say you realize 50% is really high, I just want to clarify that because like I think it was like there were a couple of times where we hit that 10,000 per month, and I didn't even mention it because I'm like, okay, that was like we had a few like POS sales, not online sales. Like I try to justify that, and I'm like, no, it needs to be like 10K online, and I think like it doesn't really matter. Like whatever we do, I'm never satisfied. So that's why when I say 50%, we want it to be higher, and you got me there because you kind of felt like how I was feeling.
Yeah.
Me wanting it to be way more, but it's not that it's not big. It's definitely huge.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, here's the thing is like 50% is a lot. And also it's just like, it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
You worked for it. You earned it. You created that 50%. It didn't just like, it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
You made that.
Yeah.
And I think like what's super exciting to Pedram's point is now you have the knowledge. Again, you have that knowledge, you have that wisdom, and you can just start repeating it. Like that's the thing that is super exciting.
For sure.
I get really excited about it. For me to get excited because I'm on the outside watching it, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to be excited, but let me show you something. When I look at this, the excitement level is just like dropped down. Like I look at behind us. We just came back from
4 days, we haven't been able to even clean up.
You still have 50%, even if the floor is a mess,
Yes.
even if There's stuff all over the place. You still got 50. And you know what? You guys have been traveling. I know you've been traveling a lot these last couple months, and your business is still going. So like all the systems that you set up, those are all running in the background. All the emails are going. It's all moving. It's all going.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Is there, I'm just going to be your cheerleader like the whole entire time. I'm not gonna-
Appreciate it.
We need it.
We need it for sure. Yeah.
Is there anything that I can't help myself? I really can't. Is there anything that I have not asked you that you wanted to say about Merchant Mastery or the coaches or anything that I've forgotten to ask?
I mean, you could probably just ask, is it worth the money? And I say 1,000 times yes. It's definitely worth the money. It's definitely worth the money, the time and everything. Like it's an investment that I think, especially for people who don't have a ton of budget to hire an agency, go through, all the headaches and all that stuff. It's definitely worth the money. It's just not because of the programs or modules. It's just because I feel that literally every single person in Merchant Mastery cares for our business. It's not just a transaction. It's just people who work for Merchant Mastery really care for us as human beings, as business owners. They understand the struggles, they're really wanting to help. So, and I think that is like, you cannot put a price on that, honestly. You cannot, especially for small businesses, for people who don't have a lot of budget, it's like all they have and they kind of want to risk it. So this is the place to risk it. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, this is like the place to go for sure. And like, we never regret the decision that we made. Never.
Thank you so much. I mean, that means so much to us for sure. Because it's true. We do really care about you guys. And we just like, it's like, you get like 3%, I'm gonna like squeal and scream and be super happy. It's like you can think of it.
That makes me feel much better about 50%. No.
Well, I mean, here's how, like, you know how my brain works. 50% is how you get to 100%.
Yeah.
You have to go through 50% to get to 100%. You got to go to get to 100% to get to 200% to get to 300%. So
Yeah.
you're moving, you're getting there.
Yeah.
You're on the way. You're
Yeah.
already en route.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying.
You're doing it. You're not trying, you're doing it. All right, you two, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and for giving me some time out of your day, because I know you guys are,
Sure.
I know you guys are busy.
Anytime. Thank you
Yeah.
so much as well.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
We will talk soon.
For sure. Take care.
See you in like an hour and a half.
Yep. See you in an hour and a half for a coaching call.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.